back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So about 6 weeks ago, the maid who comes here and works left. And I know that sounds like, Jesus Christ, what kind of paradise is he living in? But most people in India have maids. Well, not most, because the maids don't have maids, but you know what I mean. Like the middle class, even the lower middle class have maids. A lot of the population get help because it's affordable, so why not get it? And these people obviously need jobs. So the maid left and they were like, all right, we're going to get a maid and a nanny to help with the kids. And my wife's mum really does need a maid here. She needs some fucking help because I'm not helping. My wife helps her a little bit, but she's up at like 6 a.m. in the morning. She makes fucking 3 meals a day. She prepares and cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my wife's dad. Like, it's full old school here. I love it. He brings in the dough and he expects his fucking chapati and his dal to be on the fucking table when he wakes up. No, he's not really like that, but my wife's mum does prepare every fucking meal. And then once she's done with that, she bathes, she feeds the kids. Like, she's a trooper, my wife's mom. She also can't sit still either. She's not a fucking chiller. She can't just chill out. She has to be go, go, go. So she does need some fucking help. So when they started looking for a new maid and a new nanny, I decided to get involved. I decided to poke my white head into Indian affairs. So I'm like, how much are we paying these nannies? And it was like 10,000 rupees, which is $200 a month. And I went off my fucking head. I'm like, that is fucking slave labor. How can anyone even live off that? And they were saying, we give them food, we give them shelter. If they have kids, we provide their kids with schooling and all this sort of shit. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I can't, as a human being, stand here and let someone fucking do that work for that little money. And obviously, I'm converting it into Australian dollars. I'm not really part of the Indian monetary system. So my perspective isn't really valid. I was told to stay out of it. They were like, you don't fucking know what goes on here. You don't know what the going rate is. You don't know anything about anything. And I was like, I don't care. I put my foot down. I'm like, I don't care. Things will never change unless we start paying people a little bit more for fucking what they're doing. How do you think minimum wage got increased in Australia? This is where change starts, in the house. And I said, I don't give a fuck if I have to pay them out of my own pocket, which I was going to do. I'm like, we're paying them more than fucking the going rate, okay? So the first maid comes in about 5 weeks ago. She brings like 4 people with her. She accepted 8,000 rupees a month, which is a little bit less than $200 because they got free fucking rent and there's like fucking 5 of the fuckers. Even I was like, that's a lot of extra people in the house. But I was like, I don't care. I want the maid paid properly. It was only one person working here, the maid, and she brought 4 other people. Anyway, after a week of this lady literally doing nothing, just lounging around, chilling, she did nothing. And she was getting paid like 14,000. She was getting paid more than most maids in India. She decided she wasn't that keen to work. She wants to go work on a building site or something. So she left. A week later, someone contacted my wife's dad, someone from a village, a poor village somewhere, and they said they want to come and work. One of the stipulations was she wants her daughter to get into a good school, and my father-in-law can pull a few strings, so he got her daughter into a good school. So they were here for 2 weeks. And if the lady before that did nothing, and I'm talking about like literally nothing, this lady and her daughter just sat around eating, like fucking eating all the time. It was like they were on holiday. And then my wife's mum was like, you need to do some work. You can't just sit around and eat all day. And the daughter would just eat pounds of fucking rice. So after a 2-week holiday here, she decided to run away with her fucking boyfriend. The following week, we get another lady. Another one with a sob story. They all have the exact same sob story as well. My husband's a drunk. He beats the fuck out of me. Every single one of them, exact same story. I don't know whether they're in cahoots or something, but every single one of them, exact same story. So this lady comes. She has a daughter with her who's like 20 and 2 of her sons who are like in their mid-20s. And they were like 100%. They're like, thank you so much. We needed somewhere. We're so poor. We need the money. I'll work as a maid. My daughter will work as a nanny. Thank you so much. My wife's dad organized some like fucking coolie work for the two sons. So they're all employed. So they got here. They moved in. They were here for like 5 days. And then they tell us the daughter's pregnant and she can't work. So it's only the mum. And the mum can't go up the stairs because she has a fucking limp. So the daughter's pregnant. She's like 2 weeks pregnant. She's about as thick as my fucking thigh. And also I fought for their wage to be increased as well. I fought for them to have more money. So they're like, she's pregnant. There's not much we can do about it. The pregnant lady's in-laws are going to come stay as well, which would make it 6 adults in the house with 1 person working. And that lady can't walk up the stairs. So my wife's parents were like, we can't just move your whole family into the house. Like, what the fuck do you think this is? And then they got angry and then they left. So they were here for about a 2-week holiday. All this time, my wife's mum is doing all the work. So they left and another lady came in. Same story, alcoholic husband beats the fuck out of her. She was working a job where she was doing 12-hour days for 4,000 rupees a month, which is about $80 a month, 80 Australian dollars a month. So she came in and she said, as long as you can get my son a good seat in a good school, I'll work here forever. So my wife's dad went to a school, pulled a few strings, got his son enrolled in this fucking school. This lady was gold for about a week. And I was like, all right, this lady's perfect. We can go to Himachal Pradesh now. We can go to the fucking Himis. So we're in the Himis for 2 days. This lady fucking disappears. This is what they do. They drag you in with a sob story. They get you to do something for them up front. And then they fuck off. And they're poor. Like proper poor. And they come here and my wife's dad says to them, look, I can get your kids into good schools. I can give them access to university. I can do things for them. All you need to do is stay here and work. We provide the house for you. We provide food, water, money. Like it's the best deal in India a maid's ever going to get. And they don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck. I totally understand it. I wouldn't want to do this work either. But I would also probably be aware enough to know this might be my only chance to improve my position, especially if I was Indian. Anyway, we're in the Himis. She disappears. My wife's mum gets stuck with the brunt of the work. There's nothing we can do. We're there. We come back. This lady comes back and she's like, yeah, I was doing something. I was getting my husband, her drunk husband that beats the fuck out of her. So she moves this drunk husband into the house. And this cunt's a proper drunk, like a wiry cunt, no teeth, just a degenerate. But not like a fun-loving degenerate like myself. I mean like a gutter degenerate. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. I don't really want my daughter around some alcoholic abuser. So they had to kick him out of the house. He went somewhere else. Then the last like 4 or 5 days, she's just been coming and going as she pleases. Like it's her place. She comes in, she does nothing, she grabs a feed, she goes out. Like, it's insane. So it all came to a head today. I'm not really involved in any of this. So there was a big fucking blow up downstairs today. This maid, fuck, she's a lying bitch. She was just making shit up. She was saying that, like, it was all bullshit. So anyway, she's gone now, and I got fucking yelled at. They're like, see, the money doesn't fucking matter. And I'm like, all right, yep, I understand. They're like, you should have stayed the fuck out of it. The money doesn't matter. There's a way you have to fucking deal with these people. And to be honest, I should have stayed out of it. I don't really know the intricacies of Indian life like that. All I do is I convert Indian rupees into Australian dollars and I make a snap judgment. That's what I do. And it's a lot more complex than that. Society and culture here is fucking complex. So now the next people coming in are 4 people from a nomadic tribe. So in the caste system, you have the backwards class, you have other backwards class, you have the most backwards class. These are like untouchables. And then you have the nomadics who aren't even in the caste system. They just wander. So my wife's dad does a lot of humanitarian cases for the nomadic tribes and all the backwards classes. So these nomadics came to him and said, "We need some work, sir. Can we please get some work?" So now we've got 4 nomadic tribes people coming to help out. And I'm just going to call it now and say it's probably not going to work out. And I'll tell you what I'll be doing, staying the fuck out of it. All right, that's it for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, share it around with your friends. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.